Do you smell the acrid stench of burning wealth? It isn't a few discarded bills. It is the suffocating scent of hundreds of millions of dollars turning to absolute ash with every single rotation of the earth. Right now, under the crushing, oppressive weight of thousands of marine boots and the deafening roar of countless fighter jets eclipsing the blazing sun, the narrowest and most vital maritime choke point on the planet is waiting to become the ultimate graveyard of the global economy. There are no earth-shattering explosions yet, no crumbling skyscrapers, and no nuclear sirens wailing in the streets. But at the chokehold of Hormuz, an invisible catastrophic time bomb has already been armed. The countdown has begun toward the expiration of a fragile, paper-thin ceasefire. If this mechanism detonates, the world as you know it, the lights in your home, the fuel in your engines, the very fabric of modern civilization, will never return to what it was. Welcome to the razor's edge of the abyss between Washington and Tehran. The Strait of Hormuz has never felt this suffocating. The briny, restless waters wedged between the Persian Gulf and the Gulf of Oman are no longer just an ocean. They have been violently divided by an invisible but terrifyingly solid wall of American steel. The United States Central Command has cast a colossal, unprecedented dragnet across the seas. A total naval blockade. A sprawling armada of warships carves relentlessly through the waves, accompanied by an army of elite troops and a swarm of aerial predators circling endlessly above. Their singular, ruthless objective? To completely choke the life out of Iranian ports. The blockade is absolute, a suffocating grip that bleeds the Iranian economy of mind-boggling fortunes daily. In a frantic window of extreme tension, this iron net has violently forced an armada of massive cargo vessels to abort their missions, turning back to the docks in utter despair as they face the insurmountable might of the U.S. Navy. But the ocean is vast, dark, and always conceals its own treacherous secrets. Despite Washington's thundering proclamations that not a single shadow could pierce their impenetrable defense, maritime tracking data uncovers a breathless, high-stakes game of cat and mouse played under the cover of darkness. A gargantuan Chinese oil tanker, a ghost ship long blacklisted by the U.S. for funneling lifeblood to Iran's sanctioned energy sector, dared to roll the dice against the American fleet. It was a suicidal gamble. Hunted, cornered, and violently forced to execute a U-turn not once but twice, this steel leviathan is now lying dormant. It drops its heavy anchors near Keshem Island, blending into the fog like a wounded, cornered beast in the shadows, waiting for a miraculous, microscopic fracture in the American armor to make its escape. Pushed to the absolute brink, bleeding catastrophic amounts of capital with every passing hour, Tehran has begun to play a terrifying, dual-faced game of geopolitical roulette. On one hand, hidden in the velvet gloves of back-channel diplomacy, they extend a calculated olive branch, a highly classified proposal to permit global cargo ships safe passage through the undisputed territorial waters of Oman. If materialized, this would unclog the world's petroleum arteries. But the devil is always in the details. This salvation comes with a lethal hook. Washington must swallow its pride, step down from the precipice of war, and sign a binding agreement to avoid a direct military collision. Yet before that olive branch could even cross the ocean, Iran's artillery commanders were ordered to unleash a barrage of verbal hellfire. A top military advisor to Iran's supreme leader materialized on state broadcasts, his eyes cold and devoid of hesitation, delivering a blood-soaked vow. The missile silos are open. The coordinates are locked. Any American vessel that dares to cross the invisible line will be ripped apart and sent to the dark, crushing depths of the Hormuz. This is not empty rhetoric born of sudden anger. It is a cold, calculated fury forged in fresh blood. It is the lingering vengeance for the ruthless American airstrikes that recently vaporized key power brokers and the son of a high-ranking advisor deep within the supreme leader's inner circle. The ghosts of the slain are demanding a toll, and Tehran intends to pay it in American steel. The madness does not end in the Middle East. While the desert sands boil, a devastating geopolitical civil war is erupting within the very heart of the West. The American president, in a desperate, frantic bid to rally his historical allies to the front lines of this blockade, finds himself standing entirely alone in a freezing vacuum of diplomatic silence. Europe turns its back, NATO looks away. The The ultimate fracture of this grand alliance exploded into public view when the US president launched a blistering, venomous attack against the Italian prime minister, effectively declaring the historic bond shattered beyond repair over Italy's refusal to march into the Iranian quagmire. Across the continent, Germany delivered a humiliating slap to Washington's face, publicly condemning the unilateral American strangulation of a global waterway as entirely unacceptable. The United States is no longer the leader of a unified free world. It is a lone, wounded wolf, bearing the crushing weight of a global war machine entirely on its own shoulders. Realizing that battleships and fighter jets alone cannot force a rapid surrender, the US Treasury has authorized the deployment of a silent weapon of mass destruction, devastating secondary sanctions. The Treasury Secretary chillingly refers to this strategy as the financial equivalent of a carpet bombing campaign. Any nation, any corporation, any bank that dares to purchase a single drop of Iranian oil or holds a single copper coin of Iranian wealth will be pulverized by the relentless gears of the American financial empire. The objective is absolute economic annihilation. The sand in the hourglass is slipping away. The White House press secretary has stepped to the podium to deliver a statement that sent a deep, freezing chill down the spine of the global markets. The United States has made no formal request to extend the looming ceasefire. The deadline is rushing forward like a runaway freight train. While whispers of diplomatic talks float like ghosts, the agonizing reality remains. Neither side has retreated a single inch. In the most critical, vulnerable choke point on Earth, a devastating spark is hovering inches above an ocean of gasoline. The world can do nothing but hold its breath, paralyzed, and wait for the fire.